It's Navia! She's over there! Hey, Navia! Are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could!
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It caused quite the disturbance, in fact.
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but we've run out of medical supplies.
He's wounded?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the ground, he became terrified and eventually...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1, and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right. You'll be... I'm sorry.
The situation in
Right. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded in the waterways. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. Fortunately, the water began to recede after some time, and the chaos came to an end. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson, no one knows if this could happen again.
How awful.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that...
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
Sorry. I need to go for now.
And off she goes.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to. Of course, Traveler.
Huh? Right now?
Thank you. Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no strength to spare any words for the dead.
Navia?
sorry. I just... Malus and Silver... They won't ever come back here again. What?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still... They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And they were caught in the seawater. I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just gone. I just can't.
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy
I can understand. Besides,
See, it's not just me. I always want...
how could Mass get to the cemetery?
buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus, demoiselle.
Hey, stop joking around.
I'm quite serious.
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two somewhere else. I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well,
I'd always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be... Malus and Silver have helped me. I'm so...
you can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident.
Obana. So...
It's okay. The overall outcome indicates that the cost was...
Right. Don't Malus and Silver...
You're right. What you said just now...
Oh.
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait. Do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. But that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and evacuation work so quickly.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on.
I apologize. My subordinates have reported...
This is nothing to brag about, nor, as I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand...
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived...
Don't say that. As Paimon said, I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right now, there's nothing.
You're right. I'm sorry. Water is light.
So, you're one...
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some... By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
All right, then we'll just... Huh?
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received during some recent investigations. A child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and seem to be worth investigating in many ways. Judging by the dating of my people initially came to prepare for ruin.
So, that's why the Fatu...
I wanted to take the Linny told me that which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such, even though you are not from the house. I'm sure you already understand how earnest...
Oh! That somehow makes...
The intel I just...
Got it!
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But there's no point in... Besides, I'm also
Since you put it that way, all right.
Okay, the three... So, are these the ruins the knave was talking about? Whoa,
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful.
I will have order.
Lightning flash!
Gotcha. Game's up. Fun's over. Busted.
Solidified.
Let's light it up. Take this. Gotcha.
What? The floor here isn't safe. This place has also been contaminated by
Yeah, And a lot of it, too. A Fontainian would most likely dissolve the moment they fell in.
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous and it won't be... don't get Paimon wrong.
No, you're right. That complicates things. Maybe the...
In that case, do you want to wait for...
the water I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit just up ahead.
All right. Come with us for now then, but please be careful. Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
There's something wrong with this bridge! Run for it!
Demoiselle?
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing?
Maybe she just wants some time to her.
Oh,
Yes, it would...
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However,
Oh, right. This is a
is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. I was just trying to recall...
Do you remember Mr.
We were headed to see how...
Ah, right. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too. It's good to see all of you.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those they were knocking at my door day...
Sometimes for...
That's right.
Oh, yes. One moment, Miss Navia. These are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would...
Did you...
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of...
Very well.
Wait. Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here? Where did everyone go?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have important things to attend to today.
We do?
Well, now, did...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been...
My trial?
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about time now.
Oh?
Look, it's Navia! She's here!
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly... Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many people here? And as for the judge... huh? Where's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall accompany you.
All right. But are you sure you can stand behind me?
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Seriously.
Enough with the whispering!
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? And that, as all here know, you are Master Calus' after you took over the Spina. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rasula fought for the well-being of those in Poisson.
Wait a moment.
Yes, correct. We are one big. Therefore, this fair and honorable.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all, but what is the purpose of having me stand here?
Oh, well, if that's what.
How I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember now. Yes, I get it. This trial is...
wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty!
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing of her utterly independent mind.
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even the death of Master Calus couldn't stop her.
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She merely acted as an individual, extending her hand to help. Please do not mistake her actions.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. This is the nation of justice, the nation of Hydro. Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts all, blends with all. It will surely accept her kindness. Everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We...
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you ought...
Do you mean to defy our justice?
If your justice is flawed, then...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and that.
My head...
Demoiselle.
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will protect you to the very end.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, the majority is absolute justice. We are the will of all. Don't let them escape! We shall keep Navia here with us!
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia, she...
Silence.
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented, the court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks, monsieur.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this...
Loose.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were...
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have...
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I... I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanid?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you saw.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect...
Please come with...
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right. Perhaps...
Why do you look so stiff all of a sudden? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's...
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even...
I suppose... Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days.
No way, don't...
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to understand the world of humanity, just as I have.
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do that.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the Fortress of Meripede.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, Neuvillette, you're probably...
Yes?
This isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all those official documents. We didn't think exploring the ruins would take very long, and who would have thought you'd wrap things...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
Oh, right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Take it easy.
Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step.
Yeah.
Quietly now. Busted.
Stabilize. This is order.
I'm going in! Take this!
Solidify.
Ha! Thunderclap!
Gotcha.
Stabilize. I will have order.
Game's up. Phone's over. Busted. Take it easy. Quietly now.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates? It seems like...
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in
The surrounding walls also show signs of...
There's something written below. Let Paimon see.
It feels like some...
That would fit this...
There's a person...
And is that Lady Farina in the 3rd image? Did the Hydro Archon...
And is that a ring of people around her?
The 4th image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon... More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at... This says that it's the history of the future.
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the 4th, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the 3rd, where the Hydro Archon herself falls in...
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the 3rd image.
Egeria, then. I had never met her. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the sky.
Did she herself commit that sin? Also, I'm so...
But who would have created these...
It seems that any further clues will have to come from...
In that case, there's no time...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening.
You still have...
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's...
She has long been harboring.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk.
I will be carefully considered.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house up... All right. I'll...
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a...
Yay! And there's good food too! Ooh, desserts! Paimon's already starting to...
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
It's you two.
Mona?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here.
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out first. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstadter surname? Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took... There was nothing for it, really. Nope. Although it is used by us in...
Wow!
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well. Astromancer, but...
Whoa!
My name means...
Thrice as great?
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call her...
Talk about excess...
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname.
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontainian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dornman Port, and I traveled with the old hag for a while, after which I settled down in Mondstadt City.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited... The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone...
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as a...
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist. And that I'm afraid that this is not... But on the flip side...
A visionary?
Of course. The old hag could do it. And I'd bet there are... All right, I'll help you. It isn't often that I...
Thanks, Mona! You're amazing as always!
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all. So yes, your praises are quite welcome.
That's the greatest of astrologists for...
Indeed, indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need...
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicion. Right, but we were able to recruit Mona's help, didn't we? Our good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and... something wrong?
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have got...
Like I said, I've already explained everything!
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, look at this. This is a list of the victims from...
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster. I will say this once more. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't... but you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct. Which is why I came to
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous...
I don't.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no... My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concern.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina. But there are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the... This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about...
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was...
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed! Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue, we may have to create a situation in which she...
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal...
But Farina's seen so many trials...
We will need to consider... If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in Christ... But who will lend us their aid?
Well, that's everyone. Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful. The spotlight at...
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought it. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of...
Oh? How intriguing.
Well, it's just an
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick...
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, Oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So are we going hunting together?
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't did you just pour some... Paimon's never...
Don't be frightened.
Who's that voice?
What is... And yet, even you feel confused. Consider me... Precisely. Call me... N. The prophecy. Yes, what has been...
What?
People call such things fate, and it is written in the stars. It cannot... just as prophet are the things that you shall...
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? So ultimately...
The voice. It's gone. Alright. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. Not all Fontaine. Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I'm in full support of her view.
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear...
Yes. About what we had discussed... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god...
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. But I've never met her, and...
Whoa.
Their abilities alone...
Well, it's not like Paimon...
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but perhaps it is something that you cannot know. Traveler, Paimon?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now.
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. I did originally think of steering...
You do have a point.
There I go. It was worth trying, I suppose.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by. along my recent attempts to enter the fortress. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report. So while the fort journalist Charlotte, she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fort. Ugh, seriously? Well... We're here! Paimon's hungry. Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day! It was so delicious the last time...
1 slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all! Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too?
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own...
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule.
Then what if some...
But why would it...
Well...
Oh, No.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have... These 2 slices are for you.
Oh, you know, see...
I sure do. She said that I've got something else to do, so...
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be It's more delicious than last. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious. Oh, we're near the Steambird office.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh,
ha! You've got some nerve!
Oh, you needn't. It's all right, though.
Really? Oh,
still, what?
A friend of ours may...
Ah, so she mentioned...
She said that you're... Huh?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like...
Yeah, are we...
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview,
Oh,
so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! Ooh, so much to...
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you...
That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, so in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to just think about it. If this nation really were to... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, but anyway...
That's so nice. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking. If it wasn't fun... No. We've always been moving to the next destination. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Feels like it'll grow molded, but it's still good.
So the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the palace?
Yes, I'm Isadora.
Monsieur, not at all. Yes, inside.
A riot?
Well, that Lady Farina loudly accusing her, and before the crowd continued.
So people.
I agree.
So what happened?
Seeing that this is the Marisho safe.
So, you mean she.
That's right. That said, I don't think there's much good.
Don't worry. Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know, and as we were Nerval, it would be hard for her to climb on things for. Huh. Well, what in that case? This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of death at station. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible. That's Farina, right over there.
What was meant? I'm sorry. I'm so. I'm sorry. What can I even do? Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina.
What? They even dare to tout their art. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marisho Phantom are freaking.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after.
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some.
Farina just ran off! Quick, we have to catch up with her! This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot.
What?
Hurry, they're almost.
Fine. I suppose haste is warranted. Lead the way. I merely gave it.
Yep, that.
What's happening?
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the.
It can't be. It's happened.
Well, there's no need.
Yeah, but the people of Poisson.
It's true. I've been investigating I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues, and I've tried all kinds of ways, but we cannot make an enemy of the Devon. Give up. Indeed, fate. But just know, it all, as long as, don't worry,
Well, that's enough for now. Don't take
Come on!
Share, that's impossible. It was a witness, and if to...
Ladies and gentlemen, This concludes my opening. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of—
May I interpret these words as your refusal? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a—
You would draw your blade against a— I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see—
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding.
Looking for
I raised my hands just now to— I will admit, I'm sorry. You are not— But now, I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice! This time, I applaud and rejoice. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine!
Woohoo! Oh, no. Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Also, even though she's still acting—
All right, then.
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then Also, please allow me to ask, Nazi, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula—
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members. The people's resentment against it, moreover, according to our—
So you—
And their goal was to—
That's right.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Was an art— My thanks, Farina. With the—
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in Mora to pull this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was—
So, in other words—
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can get you gathered a crowd. Prepare to stay also that as soon—
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, as for you, you'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we'd arrived. Oh? It's fine. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the—
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to— This is a document that Miss
Huh? Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey! Oh, let Paimon see. Wait. So in other words, we can refer to this, and let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, all right?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duel. I didn't think that you'd want this as the Fatui. The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. The words of someone as extraordinary—
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come, just fast fast forward to the part where the of course, it is only natural for humans to
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking...
Charge accepted. Lady Farina. Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be anything other than your true Archon.
Yeah.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. See? Even if you wish to drop the...
An argument with Nero?
Well, and if I was not the Archon...
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think this... First of all, you...
Who gave you that
A curse. But in light of this claim...
You sensed it too, huh, Nervlet?
Lady Farina is actually... Well, it is true.
Well, don't start celebrating too. Besides, everyone... For centuries, one need only to turn their eyes towards the...
That doesn't... You tried to
Didn't I make myself clear at the time?
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your while the court is in session, you will prove your... That was no...
So, you neither knew why Childe was declared guilty, instead of...
The real Hydro Archon. It is true that I did not know why but the Oratries handed out that verdict unilaterally. You can't...
She's still throwing out all kinds of...
If that poses a...
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even...
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in... Thus did I...
Isn't that...
Yeah.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me. I'm still the same, please.
If what the
Did she deceive all of us?
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if you have no evidence.
Wow. That doesn't sound... It has been established.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right...
Miss Navia, please...
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson, including the... So, if we are to believe that... But, if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind... I do hope you'll act prudently, and shoot...
Navia from the Spina di...
If Lady...
Lady Farina, this...
Well, of course he had to...
She's just staring...
What's going on?
Due to the inherent risk of the...
Hey! I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon!
Miss Siegewin? If you're present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend...
Siege? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds.
Please announce the results of your evaluation.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegeween. Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't get dissolved! Shouldn't that be enough to—
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You... Listen to me, everyone! Please don't think about it! Also... Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me! I swear, I really am your Archon!
I don't think anything she says at this point.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway Yaksha's two-stepped against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is... guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
No, the Oratrice also disputed.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is that to be punished via the...
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court, and it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected
Farina's been sentenced to death by...
This outcome is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Fache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina... But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it. I assume this means...
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me.
Is that... Huh. So the
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water. But has the trial already concluded?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate. Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the...
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
I believe I have now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they...
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans. Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then the second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. The third slate shows the Hydro Archon see... That reminds Paimon. Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians of... We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident...
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontainians can be dissolved, and the first stone slate tells us that long ago the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontainians can dissolve. Perhaps what is about the trend. It's not when the stone. The prophecy from the fort. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, think.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court with... The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was the surest... The prophecy's contents can all be...
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
We're not real.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater. And how all the girls Vache dissolved were also turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial.
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that could also explain why the
Hydro...
And yet, after many hundreds of years...
Yeah, so wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Arc in the end? Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slate, when we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the... Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes...
Well?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you. Your hypotheses were in the Fontaine of old. The previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create, not one to give in. She eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet. She poured pride, but if Fontainians... Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned it...
That's way too much information. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the...
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer...
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourths, a key point of... They have not been dissolved. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation... You may also recall... Therefore, that the people of Fontaine shall try the... Yes.
I think I'm following... In truth, every...
What should we do?
Huh.
If that's the case...
Traveler, I would like to point out another about the fourth slate. However, as for the root cause of the catastrophe... This eruption was just a small warning of the things...
It was both dream...
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial...
The truth, the original sin,
so we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Teyvat. It is a monster. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians...
Precisely. That whale finds the blood. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to...
We just barely managed...
That is correct. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've all... Anyway...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, even if the entire...
That's not something I will... We've already done everything we can, and we've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle...
Indeed. That's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end. No.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. Just as prophecies are Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Marina!
No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dear. She knew full well that the prophecy, and as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather... I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I had to outwit the heavenly principles. Allow the prophecy to be fulfilled. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume, although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the tasks... But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, she could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be. Her strengths were of a kind only a human. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceit. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years. And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time. Oh, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, all right, it is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel I am Focalor? The eyes of countless Fontainians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is true! Take this! Ah!
Here comes the catch. Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Lightning flash!
Game's up. Fun's over. Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what?
Mirror me?
The prophecy. Have you heard?
What prophecy? The people will all be
Oh.
What? But...
I will tell you.
But if there were...
I suppose this would also be the just... Huh? Don't worry. It's not...
Play as...
That's right. You must begin if you can keep it up.
But... how will I do?
Don't worry. What you must do, being a human yourself, remember...
I'm so...
To a combat.
A trial. The Maison. What should I say to most of... I'm sure you've all heard about how, in truth, as the god Focalor, that once again, think this, I thought I might stammer.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her...
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might...
Wait, what's going on? Right. Mir, calm down, Farina. Think assertive. With a... Now,
I was wondering if some weak puppet were You may consider. Now then!
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera?
Personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. That, my dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith. We have heard it said that this nation No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play. The scales may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fire. No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to. There is, so long as.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary.
Besides,
If... That's true,
No need for fright. And do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina,
No need. All right.
Here.
Lady Farina.
I see. It's as I thought that all manner. Really?
I'm...
The day is final, but it's good. Maybe this is.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial...
They'll be.
Lady Farina.
Indeed,
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydro...
Understood. I feel.
Lady Farina, it's... I've heard that the Are you crying?
Really now? This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion... Hundreds of years, I never have I want to dive. All I can do is keep heart.
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing.
Share, that's impossible.
But even if you're burdened, just
a witness. And if she's right. But if they no, Farina, you should. But what, Farina, is it sad if you think about it long and hard? No, I have nothing to say. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter, even it seems that trusting humanity was the right decision.
I believe that I understand how your deception... How would you build...
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Eudex of Fontaine has I'm sure you've long...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the court. It now seems that that person...
And then I became one with the oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, you're in truth, it is no...
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the oratories take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been... my work. But really, the vast majority had to be accumulated.
It was all part of your plan.
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have but... Only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro...
So the Oratrices... The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent, you must be...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro Dragon of this planet.
But...
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign.
All you've
I've never Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea. And the heavenly principle stole the power I, for my part, am the... Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters... In other words... Existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people... At this point, Eudex Nervilental Sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of... At last, in the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living, you are things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Codex Nouvelette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened? Has the death sentence...
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just...
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved...
It's time to end this. I have gained the strength sufficient. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our traveler. Now that the oratories can no longer... The root of the collapse. Come with me, traveler. The hour of execution. Find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient power. I shall look for an opening to I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Solidify!
devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Chance will present itself. The moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Quietly now. Game's up. Fun is over. Busted. Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but it was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are...
Paimon has an idea. It's just that he gave us the impression that she was...
I simply did not have any... So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. That kind of power... All in all, it failed. The point being...
Well, so what sort of person is your ma...
Oh, right. So you... His name is Sertologi.
Huh?
I am
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous.
The foul...
Still nothing?
Ooh, that one we...
Oh. So you do... But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar...
Wait! Didn't you also mention...
Actually, that they all develop such roiling hydro energy as such. In other words...
What?
Not to worry.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue! Hurry!
Hey, lend a hand!
Look! The water's receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're safe.
The prophecy was wrong.
Good roll.
The soil renewed. The Spina di Rosula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spina di Rosula. And we spoke about old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at Skyship Winglet. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield people always call the... Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these bigs. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true...
Paimon's curious...
And that's exact... Oh, this time... Navia!
Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snej. Our residents are...
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your...
I get where you're coming from.
That would be fine.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction...
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it.
I see.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just...
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone...
Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections.
Wow, you really...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
Whoa, you're welcome.
That's a...
In truth, I told him that it...
You're right.
Stay safe now. And tell me...
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to...
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. Miss Charlotte, do these pictures really need to be published on the cover of the Steambird?
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier, hmm?
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you, then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that the boat that brought about a miracle. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh! Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowel.
Really?
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well then, two souls.
Is my hair messed up?
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah.
Hey, Miss Charlotte.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at...
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone...
Other than that flying ship, I got a...
That's why I decided...
You're too kind.
I see.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good...
Oh!
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to...
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next...
There'll be...
Maybe. All right, last stop, the docks. Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of
It's a wonder
trick a friend?
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure.
You sure are working hard to help Fremine social.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our...
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant.
And that said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out.
Lynette, could you come over?
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of every... Father said...
that's our...
Oh, after Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nerve...
A diplomatic...
Yes, it could have been done. Furthermore...
that's...
I would agree. I suspect...
but back to the...
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatu...
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know?
Are you going to take the Gnosis back to...
That is our duty. Don't be too... Switching my masks is something Well, that depends on many things. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping...
And that's a wrap for me. Huh? You...
Greetings, Miss Journalist. That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our...
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled...
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take one too.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must... All right, then.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte, huh? Shall we go... entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Nervalette! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met... In any case, you came at a good time.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. All right, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually... Whoa. So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine... But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the...
For me, the Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions similar to that of mimics. But so long as though... In other words, when I gave my verdict...
Focalor must have counted on you to make that Yeah! And in a manner...
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you—
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
what—
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see—
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal is— I can finally— It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. But with something very similar to a— I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what
Of course, you should have the remains of the third
remains. I've never heard of any such thing. Well, that much is true, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training. It is only natural for those. Regardless, to live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once—
What do you mean by—
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts.
This third—
If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information.
the remains, so that's—
All the same,
And she said—
if she speaks— I guess that you might already— That means that the Gnosis— I wonder.
Like being able to use elemental— No, let's not think about this stuff right now. Comparing the Traveler to the dead— That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck. Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master—
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind—
All right.
Yes.
But—
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one, and what ultimately